Libra, my dear soul, legal justice is coming. And it's not just a legal matter, it's karmic. It's divine. It's personal. What you're about to receive is not luck, it's not coincidence, and it's certainly not by chance. It is long overdue alignment. You're here because your energy has summoned this exact message at the exact moment you needed it. And trust me when I say this, the universe never delivers such moments lightly. Welcome to Zodiac Whisper Tarot. This is not just another horoscope reading. It is a sacred transmission, designed for you, dear Libra, at a time when the scales of life are finally tipping in your favor. And if you've been wondering why things have been slow, heavy, or unclear, then know this: a powerful announcement is preparing to shift everything. Right now, the crescent moon is transiting your sign, a deeply symbolic passage. When layered with Jupiter's current placement in Taurus, a rare energy corridor opens up between October 17th and 18th. This alignment signals financial restoration, karmic correction, and divine rulings in your favor. It is, quite literally, a time when truth is exposed, contracts are signed, and justice, both legal and spiritual, is served. Think back. Have you been waiting for an approval? A settlement? A repayment? Or perhaps clarity from a situation that left you confused or betrayed? Then Libra, I need you to pay close attention. This could be that moment. You see, the universe doesn't operate on our timeline, but it is never late. And this message today arrives like a divine legal notice. A spiritual verdict. And your name is on it. But first, pause with me. Inhale slowly. Exhale even slower. Let's ground ourselves together. Because what you're about to hear might feel surreal at first, especially if you've grown used to disappointment or delay. That's why this video was designed not just to inform, but to realign your belief in what's possible. And let me be very clear, what's coming isn't just good news, it's your justice. The kind that rebalances all the times you were overlooked. The kind that proves your silent perseverance has not gone unnoticed. That contract, that opportunity, that long-awaited payout, it may already be in motion, quietly approaching, hidden in the very next email or call. So here's what I want you to do, right now. If you're still watching this, I invite you to comment below with the phrase, "I claim my financial justice." Type it as your energetic confirmation, not just for the algorithm, but for the universe to witness. This is your sacred agreement. A signature in spirit. And let me take a moment to say, thank you. Thank you for being here. For every like, every comment, every share, and every subscription, your presence allows Zodiac Whisper Tarot to reach even deeper into this collective healing space. You are part of this family. You are not alone on this path. So please, stay with me until the very end of this reading, because what the cosmos is revealing for you, Libra, is nothing short of extraordinary. And you'll want to hear every word of what's coming next. But first, tell me this, Libra. What part of your soul brought you here today? It often begins with a whisper, not from the outside world, but from within. A gentle nudge. A quiet knowing. And on October 17th, dear Libra, that internal whisper becomes a cosmic decree. As Venus forms a harmonious trine with Uranus, a celestial gate swings open, not with noise or chaos, but with stunning clarity. You may not hear it in thunder, but you'll feel it in the unexpected message, the sudden resolution, or the signature on a document you thought had been forgotten. This is what astrologers call a breakthrough transit, and it's not one that repeats often. When Venus, the planet of value and alignment, connects fluidly with Uranus, the planet of divine disruption and liberation, the universe sends a signal that something long stalled is ready to move. In your case, Libra, it's likely tied to finances, contracts, or decisions that have lingered too long in the gray. This day carries the charge of long-awaited approvals, legal breakthroughs, and the sudden release of money or opportunity not by chance, but by alignment. The tarot paints this picture vividly: Justice and the Ace of Pentacles. The first card is not just a symbol of fairness, but of accountability. It reminds us that the scales will always rebalance, even if not on our desired timeline. The second, a golden coin held by the hand of spirit, signifies material blessings granted to those who remain steady in faith and pure in motive. Together, these cards tell the story of something being returned to you: a settlement, a bonus, a delayed payment, or even an energetic compensation for time and energy once lost. And then, there is the energy of the number 8, the frequency that governs this day. In numerology, 8 is a symbol of mastery, abundance, and karmic return. It is the number of resurrection through discipline, a cycle completed, a lesson integrated, and a reward unlocked. Think of it as a cosmic bank finally authorizing a release it had long held in suspension. I've seen this unfold in the lives of many. A woman who waited nearly a year for her court case to resolve suddenly received a ruling in her favor on an 8-day. A man who had given up on a business reimbursement was paid unexpectedly to the dollar days after recommitting to his spiritual routine and budgeting habits. These are not anomalies. They are reminders that what is meant for you can be delayed, but never denied. Perhaps in your own life, Libra, you felt caught in limbo. You've done the right thing. You've stayed honest, even when others were not. You've waited, prayed, worked hard, and hoped, often in silence. Maybe you've even whispered, "Will it ever happen for me?" And today, the answer arrives as a quiet yes, not through noise, but through movement. If your heart is already stirring with the thought of what might come, I invite you to anchor that energy by stating it aloud. Write it in the comments even if it feels bold or scary. Declare the number you've been waiting for, the amount you believe is yours. Let the universe see that you're ready, not just to hope, but to receive. There are moments in life that ask us to take action. There are others that ask us to surrender. And then, there are rare moments like this where all you have to do is be still, and let justice find its way to you. You're not chasing it. It's already en route. You're not forcing it. It's already yours. Sometimes the cards don't just tell a story, they reveal the turning point. When Judgment, the Sun, and the reverse 2 of Pentacles appear together, they don't whisper. They declare. These 3 archetypes form a triad of transformation, and when seen through the lens of your journey, dear Libra, they point to one thing: the weight is lifting, and clarity is returning. Judgment isn't about punishment, it's about liberation. It invites you to rise from the cycles that no longer serve you and to step into a version of yourself you may have only glimpsed in moments of hope. When this card appears, especially in a reading like this, it signals that a decision is being made, whether by you or by someone in a position to open doors. This is the paperwork coming through. The message finally arriving. The yes after a long season of waiting. But even deeper than that, it's your own awakening, the part of you that now sees you were never behind, just being prepared. Then comes the sun, the card of truth, joy, and revelation. It shines where there were once shadows, not just to expose, but to energize. You are being seen now, perhaps for the first time, not just by others but by yourself. Your efforts, long ignored or downplayed, are receiving light. And with this light comes celebration. This is the job offer. The public recognition. The moment someone says, "We see your worth and we're ready to reward it." The sun doesn't ask you to prove anything. It simply says, "You are enough." Step into the spotlight. The reverse Two of Pentacles speaks to something quieter, the end of the inner juggling act. The pressure to hold it all together. The fear that if you stop spinning the plates, everything will fall. In this position, the card assures you, support is coming. Stability is within reach. You're no longer being asked to do it all alone. Whether it's financial relief, time freedom, or emotional clarity, your energy is being released from survival mode and guided toward sustainability. I remember a Libra client who, just months ago, was juggling 3 part-time jobs and still struggling to cover her rent. She came to me not for predictions, but for peace. Through consistent journaling, boundary setting, and daily breathwork, her internal energy shifted. Then, quite suddenly, a client from a past contract reconnected and offered her a long-term consulting role at twice her previous rate. The shift had begun internally, but the universe mirrored it back externally. That's the magic we often forget. When you honor your value in the quiet, the world eventually echoes it loudly. In that sense, what you're seeing right now in your life may be the results of seeds planted as far back as July, seeds of discipline, self-reflection, forgiveness, or even daring hope. You may not have seen immediate blooms, but the roots have been growing. So I ask you, as a sacred affirmation of this moment, what did you plant in your heart back in July? Comment below with the phrase, "I planted ___________, and now I welcome the harvest." Even when life feels like it's moving slowly, justice is still working behind the scenes. The divine doesn't forget the moments you chose grace instead of revenge, peace instead of panic, trust instead of control. And while we're not here to force outcomes, we are here to recognize when the outcomes are finally ready to greet us. Let this moment be your recognition. The weight is lifting. The balance is restoring. And Libra, the light you once gave to others is finally circling back to you. Not all storms come to destroy, some come to reveal. And what we're witnessing now in your energy, dear Libra, is a quiet but undeniable dismantling of something that was never meant to hold you in the first place. The Tower card, paired with the Knight of Swords and the earlier presence of the Wedge energy, tells a story of friction but also of freedom. Sometimes it takes a dramatic shift to expose what's been hiding in plain sight. Not because you were blind, but because you were kind, trusting, hopeful, and now, that clarity you've earned is rising like a sunrise after long fog. There's a saying I hold close during seasons like this: when the foundation isn't built on truth, it must eventually fall no matter how long it stood. This could manifest in many ways: a job ending suddenly, a friendship souring out of nowhere, or a betrayal you never expected. It can feel personal, sharp, even unjust in the moment. But look again, with soul eyes. The Tower doesn't crumble things that are sacred. It removes what is fragile so you can rebuild on something eternal. Not everything or everyone was meant to walk with you into your next season. And that's okay. When the Knight of Swords rushes in during moments of collapse, it symbolizes a new clarity, a decision made fast and without apology. You may find yourself taking bold action you've delayed for months, quitting, confronting, cutting cords. Or perhaps, the universe moves ahead of you and makes the decision for you. Don't resist it. This is momentum born from divine strategy. It's not recklessness, it's realignment. Years ago, I watched a friend, a Libra, lose her job overnight due to someone's false accusations. She felt devastated, embarrassed, shaken. But just 3 days later, she was offered a position at a dream company she had once convinced herself she wasn't ready for. The truth? She would have never applied if she hadn't been pushed. That's what this energy often is. A push disguised as a problem. A detour that turns out to be the main road. A divine disruption that takes what was limiting you and uses it as a ladder. But what do you do with the pain? The betrayal? The confusion? You acknowledge it. You write it out. You let yourself feel it, but you don't let it anchor you. One practice I recommend during transits like this is sacred release. Write down the names, the feelings, the betrayals. Then burn them, safely. Watch the smoke rise and say, I forgive because I deserve peace. Because truthfully, forgiveness isn't a gift you give them, it's the gate you walk through to claim your own freedom. If you're sensing there's someone around you who drains your joy or manipulates your progress, trust that intuition. Not all wounds bleed, some just weigh. And you are not here to carry the heaviness of others while ignoring your own lightness. This is your time to choose differently, to protect your vision, your voice, your value. So let me ask you gently, Libra. Is there someone in your life who no longer aligns with the peace you're building? Is there a situation that crumbles when you stop holding it up? Write it down. Reflect. Then choose to release. Your destiny doesn't require you to carry everyone forward, only the truth. And when you're ready, share with me in the comments. I release what no longer serves me and I welcome what sets me free. Let that be your affirmation, your declaration, your permission to begin again. Because sometimes, the collapse is the blessing. Sometimes, the rubble is the answer. And right now, you're not breaking down, you're breaking through. There's a quiet kind of magic that happens when the moon enters your sign, especially a crescent moon. It doesn't shout, it doesn't rush. But it carries with it the energy of renewal, intimacy, and unseen alignment. And on October 18th, as this moon gently drapes itself over your Libra skies, it opens a door not only to financial opportunity, but to something much more sacred, emotional recognition. What you've longed for, to be understood, to be supported, to be met in your full essence, begins to rise into form. This energy isn't loud or chaotic like the tower from before. Instead, it feels like walking into a room and immediately knowing you're meant to be there. It's the unexpected call from someone who sees your potential and wants to invest not just with money, but with belief. It's the reconnection with someone you thought was long gone, who now reappears not to repeat the past, but to witness your transformation. The Two of Cups isn't just about romance. It's about resonance. And this transit brings exactly that: the right people, at the right time, for the right reasons. In astrology, Libra governs relationships, harmony, and divine contracts, both in love and in collaboration. So when the moon returns to this space, you're not just being reminded of connection, you're being offered a new way to experience it. This may come through someone new who feels instantly familiar. Or it may arrive through a healed version of someone who once couldn't meet you where you were. Whatever form it takes, the deeper invitation is to receive it with discernment, not defense. You see, after periods of pain or betrayal, it's normal to build walls. We become skilled at protecting ourselves, at second-guessing warmth, at assuming every offer has strings. But what if this time it's real? What if this soul contract is one you agreed to long before now, and it's simply finding its way to you because you are finally ready? The answer isn't in the words they say. It's in how their presence makes your nervous system soften. That is the difference between attraction and alignment. And you, dear Libra, are here to experience the latter. Financially, this energy also signals supportive partnerships. You may meet a mentor, a collaborator, or someone who shares your vision and wants to help bring it into form. Stay open. Be curious. Ask the questions, but also feel the energy between the lines. Sometimes the greatest yes of your life comes not in a contract, but in a conversation that feels like a mirror. You're no longer building your dreams alone, and this support could very well be the missing piece. One healing practice I recommend under this moon is letter writing. Specifically, a letter to your future self, the one who already has what you're manifesting now. Describe the home you live in, the bank account you manage, the love you wake up beside, the peace you carry. Be detailed. Be emotional. And then read it aloud. You'll be amazed at how real it feels, how close it suddenly becomes. Because what we give language to, we give life to. Let me ask you gently, do you trust that your energy is now strong enough to attract partnerships that serve you, not drain you? If you feel even a whisper of yes, I invite you to take action in the simplest way. Comment below with, I welcome aligned connection and divine support. Make that your affirmation tonight. Say it softly, like a prayer. Not to beg, but to affirm that you are ready. Because sometimes, the moon doesn't just light the path. It brings someone to walk it with you. After everything that's unfolded, the breakthroughs, the shakeups, the unexpected arrivals, there's a moment when the universe asks us not to just keep going, but to pause, to notice, to celebrate. And Libra, this moment is yours. The presence of the feast card in this part of your reading isn't about extravagance or excess, it's a sacred reminder that even small victories are evidence that you are in conversation with the universe. Every tiny shift in your favor, every email, opportunity, or breakthrough you almost missed, those are signs that your energy is aligning, and your prayers are landing exactly where they need to. So many people wait until the big win to celebrate. But what if celebration is the very energy that magnetizes the next miracle? The moment you acknowledge what's working, even in small doses, you activate more of it. Celebration is gratitude in motion. And gratitude, energetically speaking, is one of the most powerful frequencies in manifestation. Think of it like a mirror. When you reflect joy and appreciation back into the world, the universe responds with more to be joyful about. At the same time, the appearance of the damage card reminds us that manifestation is not magic without structure, it's magic with preparation. While you're being supported energetically, you're also being asked to make wise, grounded choices. This includes revisiting your finances and ensuring you're building both stability and growth. One of the simplest ways to start is by creating two separate accounts. One for your essentials, your daily needs, your security, and one for your dreams. A space to actively support the future you're calling in. It doesn't matter how much goes into the dream account right now, what matters is that it exists. It's a container. A promise. A signal to your subconscious that your future is real and being nourished today. Your body, too, plays a role in this alignment. If you felt heavy, scattered, or fatigued lately, know that digestive health is energetically tied to how we process life. So slow down. Chew your food. Add fresh greens. Sip water with intention. These tiny shifts bring your physical body into the same clarity you've been cultivating emotionally and spiritually. Movement helps as well, not just intense exercise, but presence. A 10-minute morning meditation where you place one hand on your heart and one on your solar plexus while breathing deeply is enough. As you breathe, silently repeat an intention. I allow money to support me with ease, or I am safe to grow. Your nervous system needs to feel what your mind desires. This is how you embody abundance, not just visualize it. In matters of the heart, consider writing what I call a soul agreement. Not for someone else, for yourself. Write down the kind of love you deserve. The way you want to be treated. The energy you're no longer willing to entertain. Post it where you'll see it. Love begins with self-permission, and the universe can only match the standard you've chosen for yourself. For the visual anchors in your space, lean into gold and navy. Gold calls in worth, visibility, and wealth. Navy roots you in wisdom and truth. Together, they balance your head and your heart, your ambition and your discernment. You might also write the numbers 8 and 17 on sticky notes or slips of paper, placing them on your mirror, inside your wallet, or near your workspace. These numbers carry the energy of karmic return and divine alignment, and they're already coded into the fabric of your story this month. So as you reflect on everything this message has stirred in you, I invite you to comment below with, I celebrate my progress, I protect my path, and I trust what's next. Say it as a reminder, a promise, and a prayer to yourself, not from a place of urgency, but from peace. Because when you can hold that energy, everything begins to arrive. When everything you've carried finally begins to shift, it's not the noise that confirms it, it's the silence that follows. That moment when you realize you're no longer fighting against the current but flowing with it. That's where you are now, Libra. What's arriving in your life is not a coincidence. It's not luck. It's justice. And not just any justice, it's karmic, earned, aligned. The kind that doesn't ask you to prove anything. It simply hands you the key and reminds you, you've always had the door. You see, the truth is, life doesn't hand us power, it reveals it. And all along this journey, through the moments you doubted, through the times you whispered prayers in silence or smiled when you felt like crying, you were building something invisible. Something sacred. Your courage. Your resilience. Your worth. And now, that invisible work is about to be mirrored back in visible form. But the next step is yours. Will you meet this moment with trust? Will you walk through this new doorway with open hands and an open heart? Will you take what you've learned about your boundaries, your value, your intuition, and apply it? Because what comes next is not about waiting for more signs. It's about stepping into what you already know deep down, you are ready. You are capable. You are chosen not randomly, but divinely. So ask yourself, what will I do differently this time? What am I truly ready to release, and more importantly, what am I finally ready to receive? Can you imagine what would change if you believed, without hesitation, that your path is unfolding exactly as it should? Take a moment now to honor yourself. You've come so far farther than you think. And your presence here today, in this sacred space we've created together through this message, is proof that you are listening to your soul. That you are aligning. That you are no longer settling for less than what you were made for. If this message spoke to you, even in the quietest way, I invite you to claim your next chapter with intention. Leave a comment below. I choose to live in justice and financial abundance. Let your words anchor the energy that's already surrounding you. And if you feel called to go deeper, to stay connected with the guidance that continues to unfold for you, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications because what's coming next for Libra is nothing short of extraordinary. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for spending this time with me and with this sacred community we're building at Zodiac Whisper Tarot. Every like, every share, every comment is a ripple of light that carries this message to someone else who may need it just as much as you did. And always remember, you don't need to wait for permission to begin again. You are the author of your own transformation. You are not broken, you are becoming. And when the universe moves, it moves for you. Stay open. Stay grounded. Stay ready. Because Libra, your divine justice has already begun.